this video we're going to understand what Linux really is, where it came from, and why is it currently one of the most widely used operating system over the world. To understand Linux, we must go back to the 1970s. At that time, an operating system called Unix was developed at Bell Labs. Unix was powerful, stable, and designed for multi-user systems, so it became very popular in the universities and the research centers. However, Unix was not free and its source code was restricted or known as closed code. But anyway, in the 1980s, a programmer named Richard Stallman started the GNU project. You must have heard about this. But anyway, his goal was to create a completely free Unix-like operating system. GNU successfully created many essential tools like the compiler, shell, and system utilities. But there was one missing piece, which is the kernel. Then in 1990, when a computer science student named Linus Torvalds started writing his own kernel as a personal project, and he shared it online, which made the developers from around the world begin contributing to the project. Then, then this kernel became known as the Linux kernel, and then the Linux kernel was combined with the GNU tools. Finally, a complete operating system was born again, which is GNU Linux. And over time, too many different versions of Linux were created. These versions, we can say, called like distributions, like Windows 10 or 11 for Microsoft products. But anyway, some of the most popular Linux distributions today are Debian, which is one of the oldest and most stable distributions. And based on Debian, distributions like Kali Linux were created mainly, which is mainly used for pen testing or cybersecurity in general. We have also Ubuntu, which is very popular for beginner users and servers. Also, Arch Linux is designed for advanced users who want to have a full control of the system. And finally, we have CentOS as well, has been widely used in the enterprise servers. Now we might ask, what is the difference between Linux and Windows, which is widely used by the regular users over the world? So let's have an important comparison between Linux and Windows. We can differentiate between Linux and Windows depending on three main points. Number one, the interface. Windows depends mainly on the GUI or graphical user interface, which means working with icons. Windows desktop and mouse clicks, everything is visual and driven by the desktop environment, while Linux relies heavily on the CLI or command line interface, where you can type commands into the terminal to control the whole system. Many people think these commands look complicated and difficult at first, but in reality, they are simple, powerful, and much faster once you understand them. And throughout this course, we're gonna explain them step by step until they become very easy for you. Number two, the level of security. Linux is considered more secure than Windows because of its permission system, open source nature, and lower targeting by malwares. Linux systems are harder to compromise, and for this, Linux is more secure to use. And finally, we have the resource efficiency. Linux uses fewer system resources compared to Windows. It can run smoothly on old or low spec hardware, making Linux suitable for servers and lightweight machines. Today, one of the most common misconceptions about Linux is that Linux is only used for hacking. This might be because of the green terminal screen filled with the commands, but that's not true about Linux. Runs most of the world's web servers, cloud platforms, routers, networking devices, and even supercomputers. It's true that Linux used in the field of cybersecurity, but it's also used in other fields such as DevOps, system administration, software development, and large data centers. So Linux is not just an operating system for hackers, it's the system that powers the internet and even your phone. Finally, in this series we will learn Linux from zero to hero. Be sure to follow the tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in next video. Bye.